This video is the second part of how I survived starting over at over 50. I'm going to share how I coped with the mental and emotional struggles of starting over at midlife. If you would like to watch the first video with the 12 ways on how I coped with the financial and practical aspects of starting over, I'll put a link in the description down below. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy this video. So the next few learnings that I'm going to share with you are more things that may help your inner self. And at number 13, the one thing that's really helped me get through these tough times is journaling. And I've mentioned about journaling already in one of my previous posts. And another value of seeing a professional to help you go through your emotional times. But if you're starting over like me, you'll know that there's very little money to do things like that. And this is where journaling comes in, because for me, when I journal, it allows me to write things down without any judgment. There's no one listening to you, and there's no one judging you whether you're thinking certain things or you're feeling certain things. And that's such a bonus, because you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Not that you've got to explain yourself to anyone anyway. It means you can write down things that you feel or you think, whether you're angry or sad or hurt, or all those feelings that you may be reluctant to tell people. And this is how I feel. And it also gives that space between your thoughts and your feelings, or whatever emotions you're going through, to find a bit of clarity in what you are going through. And with that, sometimes I get really insightful images or thoughts that come up, and that is where the benefits of journaling can come in for you. So at number 14 is to find some time and space for silence and meditation. And this is an example of why I like a bit of space and silence and nature. Namely because, as you can see from where I am, although there is a bit of sound of traffic in the distance, I just love being in nature, because being in nature just gives you a different kind of peace that you may not find when you're at home. I can't remember where I found it or where I read this information from, but trees provide you with like a type of ozone that will help calm your nervous system down. So number 15 is believing that this is just a transitional period. Believe me that when I was going through the worst times of my life, and I used to sit in my room and think, please God help me, and what can I do to make things better? I was really down. It would have been so easy to sit in my room and just feel sorry for myself. And you know what? I did feel sorry for myself. That's normal. It is so normal to feel down, to feel sorry for yourself, and it can feel like that period will be forever. And I used to think, I can't wait until time moves on and things will get better for me. And they did, and it has. And this is where I'm coming from now, a year and 9 months later, that I can actually sit here with a little bit of relief and a big sigh and share that it does get better over time, but you do have to believe that it is just a transitional period and that it will get better. And alongside that, at number 16 is believing in yourself and believing that you are strong enough to go through what you're going through. Again, in those days when I used to sit in that room and I was feeling so hopeless and helpless, and I didn't know what to do, and I had to believe in myself. I had to have faith and believe that I can get through this. And I have. So in 1 Corinthians 10:13 in the Bible, it says, God is faithful. He will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able. In modern day times, it gets translated into is that God will not give you something that you can't handle. And from this vantage point of a year and a half later of living on my own and starting over again, it is so true. And this is the one thing I think that we have to believe in. And at the beginning, it's so hard. I just thought to myself, what is going on in my life? What am I doing? How did I get here? But after going through what I went through, I can really believe now that it's going through those toughest times that really makes you strong. And I wish I'd had the courage to be strong and believe in myself years ago, because it's only now with hindsight that I've had to go through those tough times. And I think to myself, you know what? I can manage, I am strong, and I can deal with a lot of stuff. I have a lot of resilience. And I understand if you are going through tough times, then you're probably swearing at me across this screen, and I'm really sorry if it feels that way. But hopefully you can come back in a year or so and say, yep, Shirley, you were right. And incidentally, that was number 17, that don't shy away from the challenges in your life. And I can probably laugh at myself, and if it was me on the other side of the screen, I would probably swear at myself as well had I been watching this a year and 9 months ago, because I tell you what, those are challenges that I really could have done without. But I have come to realize that as I've gone through more and more challenges, not just from leaving and starting in the house share and starting life and going through applying for benefits, going through those job fairs, as well as not having enough money to buy food. And I've gone through that, and it's those things that make you stronger. And please don't shy away from those things. Don't feel that you're being defeated or you're not good enough. It's those situations that as you go through them, you'll find that you are stronger than you think you are, and you're more capable of going through things than you think you can go through. So number 18 is probably something that you'll swear at me across the screen for, is that find joy in anything in your day. And this is really hard when you're going through some, excuse my French, shitty times. And again, it's something that I probably would have sworn at me for if I'd watched this a year and 9 months ago, is finding joy in what? And even now, I did used to do that, to be honest. I used to find joy. I used to look up at the trees and the sunshine and the clouds, and you're probably thinking you've got totally woo-woo. But whether it's having a nice hot cup of tea or coffee in the morning, which I always cherish, or being in nature, or your health, or actually having food in your fridge. Those are simple things. They may not seem a lot at the time, but it really does help to find joy in the smallest things around you, whether that's your family or not. And when you have family, sometimes you may think, oh my God, get me out of here. Be grateful for your family. Be grateful for the smallest things that you can find. And the more joy that you find in your life, the more it raises your vibration. And the higher your vibration, the more you're going to attract positive things in your life. Number 19 is look for positive phrases or affirmation that uplifts you. Whether I'm watching something or I'm reading something, if I find a positive phrase or a saying that really helps me feel uplifted, I will put it down on a post-it note and I will have it where I can see it and where I can read it. I find that having those positive phrases and sayings on the post-it notes right in front of me where I am every day, and I spend a lot of time in front of my computer, and they're really good at reminders of, especially when you're feeling low, to keep myself positive. Number 20 is have a vision for your future. Now I know when you're going through really dark times and you're struggling, the last thing on your mind is looking at the future, especially if you've got no food, no money, and you can't even see beyond your front door. How can you envision a future? Even though that future may look and feel really hazy and far off into the distance, it's important to give yourself some sort of a vision for what your future might look like. The important thing with this is because it gives you somewhere to focus on and to move forward to, because I know that it's all too easy to wake up day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, and you're doing the same things and it feels like you're not moving forward. And if you don't have that vision for a future, you may find yourself getting a bit more stuck where you are. That's why you need this vision as something called your North Star to move forward to. I always had a vision. I still have a vision of where I want to go, and that's my focus. And I know that had I not had a vision to move forward to or move forward for, that I would still be stuck in that room, and situations may have stayed the way they are, but I've always and still do have a vision for my future and where I want to go. So number 21 is always believe, and this may be a bit woo-woo for some people, this is my belief, that there is a universal energy that is beneficent and helpful and loving. This has been one of the strongest things that has helped me process and go through the hardest times last year, or even when I'm feeling really down this year, is taking time, connecting and communicating with this loving energy that we all come from. What I've found over time that I've practiced connecting with this energy is that there will be times when it will give me inspirations on what to do, or it's like it's becoming like a guide. It's difficult to explain, but I will get a feeling or a thought that will say, oh, go and do this now, or go here, or do that. And it's those times that I felt, ooh, this is good. Or it's like I'll go somewhere and do something and something will happen, and I found that I have just saved myself from a bit of a situation. So those are the things that has helped me by connecting with this beneficent energy, with this loving energy that we're living. Also, even doing these videos, the ideas for these videos, sometimes I don't know where they come from. I just get a signal or an inspiration or a thought or a feeling. I will even get a title or an idea of what to do, and these are just some of the benefits that I've received just from having regular connection to this universal energy. So I hope you've enjoyed these 21 learnings that I've shared on this video. Let me know your thoughts and let me know where you are, if you are going through the same situation of starting over again like I am, and I'll see you in the next video.